actually have, as you might imagine, I saw a Facebook, there's a West County News Facebook group, and somebody was saying, what's happening to the mall? Are they going to mow it down, or all these things? And I was urged by people that I know to comment. So I told them what I had been told by my mall contact person, who no longer speaks to me. But I told them what I knew because I think it's unfair to the community. And then a reporter saw my comments and contacted me for the West County News, and he interviewed me. I got a couple of sentences in that. And I tried to be optimistic, and he did quote me as being optimistic about the future of the mall. And then it came back to me that I had talked to the press, and that came from Hull in Georgia. So I thought I was just being a good neighbor, but apparently I made some people mad. But anyway.
We just hope the best for her, for sure.
I really honestly believe this. It's going to be great.
When it gets to
It's
something.
just going to be a long time.
Yeah. Okay, is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
We're
sorry.
gonna call the meeting to order at 6:39, and we'll do the roll call of people. You still want to do that? So Susan, we know is out. Libby? Here. Vicki? Pat Bishop? Here. Eric? Jocelyn? Corey?
Here.
Me, yes. Ken?
And Gary Cruz is absent as well.
Okay. We're going to defer the approval of the minutes until our next meeting, I assume, but if there are any corrections or any additions or changes to the existing minutes, we can note those if anyone has any.
Okay.
You have one?
No.
No. Okay. All right. So we will
No,
defer
so
the
noted.
meetings. Okay, so noted. Public comments? None available. So, on to our fun art festival, October 19th and 2019, Saturday and Sunday. Current commitments.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. Before we begin, there's a couple of new faces at the table. I'm going to let Sergeant Windling introduce the new neighborhood policing officer.
So this is Steve DeGelder.
Hello.
Hello.
He'll be working with everyone on events, Celebrate Wildwood, the art fair, and all the other
So I'm new.
events in Wildwood. So
Go easy on me.
Well, you'll find it's a great community, and I think.
I found, yeah, I've been out here about a year and a half before this.
Okay. So
And
you are
dream come
familiar.
true, yes.
Good. All right.
Liking it a lot.
Well, welcome. And
And
then
then
Bree.
Bree Kelchin works for the Department of Planning and Parks. She's our recreation specialist.
Oh.
And she's filling in for Kathy tonight.
What a nice specialty.
Yes, recreation, of course. Well, welcome,
So-
Bree. So you will just be here this evening, or will you come next time?
She may be
She
back
may
more
be.
often.
Okay, great. All right, well, welcome. We appreciate any
We're
help we can get.
trying to disperse the meeting load a little bit better
Okay.
amongst our staff, and this may be one that Bree is asked to participate in, but I do want to welcome her and thank her for being here tonight. And thank you all as well. The Art Festival. So we'll start with the best news first. We have 63 artists committed to participate at the event. That is the most of any of our art festivals, regardless of where we hold them. Up on Plaza Drive, on top of the garage,
Yay.
here in front of Main
That's
Street.
what I wanted to know. Yay, so it's growing.
Well, that's
Yes.
good.
That's great.
And I think Gary mentioned at our last meeting, of which a couple of you weren't here, that Jean Vogel did the judging of the applications, and she said, without exception, that other than the one that was, we call them resellers in the farmer's market business, but all of them were just, they really had, it was a nice complement of different specialties, and the quality was generally very good. And she said she was very happy for us based upon what was the applicants and the process thereafter. So 63.
Great,
So
that's great.
that will cause a change in the layout of the grounds. Now, we'll still be back where we were last year, but as you know, on the south side of Main Street, between the theater and where the stage was, we had set up tables so people could sit and eat in the sun and, for the most part, enjoy the afternoon or morning, afternoon, and evening. We had to put some booths there this time. So that's the good news too, I guess, is that we have so many. We had to take some of our space and dedicate it to booths. So that'll be a little different look than what you saw last year.
So will there be tables for eating, or we
Yes.
won't, but they just won't be there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we had 10. I think we're going to try to do a few there still.
Okay.
But we assumed that the commission would support more artists. And we'll have the dining table, we'll have the dining tent like we had last year, and we'll have that connected to the stage. And so the stage will be a part of the dining tent. And then we'll have tables and chairs around the perimeter. And hopefully it'll be a little less windy and maybe a tad bit warmer on
Yes.
Saturday. And things will be successful out there. So that's the real good news, I think. We're pretty excited about it. And we are preparing that booklet that we had, that ringed booklet. before-
The ring binder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before Gary left, he completed all of the bios of the artist, and Kathy Arnett has been formatting that. And we should have that complete in the next week, 10 days. And hopefully from the publisher, so we can get you all advance copies so you can see what it looks like. It was very popular, and so we're doing it again, and probably going to use a little smaller ring than last year, because I thought it was a little too, so maybe it was just a little tighter format. As suggested by Ms. Lawson last year, we're coming back with the golden ticket.
Yay.
So, and that was really
Worked well.
popular. And we just think it's a great idea. So the back of the little book will be that golden ticket for all that participate. So that's the number of artists, and Gary produced a list, and that's the second sheet of the two-sheet handout. And as you can see, we have 63. A lot of familiar names, but also some new names.
We got some good names on here.
Yeah. And just as a kind of sidebar, Wildwood Green Arts, which was Doug Gilbert, the Sudbury School is opening on Gilbert's property, and as part of that specialized private school, we've also taken over Wildwood Green Arts for Doug, and so they're going to be participating. So
Is Doug no longer in it?
I think peripherally. I don't know if he's doing any sort of clay or.
Okay.
So I don't know what to expect, but I felt like since it was local, it was certainly.
It's gonna be good. I just know it.
We talked last time about the entertainment. A lot of these names should be familiar. Wild Horse Creek Band was the band that played at the majority of the Celebrate Wildwood event from 11:30 to 4:30. It's Babalu, Rob Evans of Babalu fame, and then his son, and then a gentleman named Pat Stevenson who lives in Wildwood on Old State Road. So it's a local group, and they cover everything. They did a wonderful job at Celebrate Wildwood, I thought. And then Dusty James and Abalone Pearl, they were with us last year, as well as Teddy McCready. And then a little different twist on Sunday, but hopefully we'll find it to be satisfactory. Also, based upon your all suggestions, commission members, you'll notice that we've added 2 hours on Sunday. So instead of 3 p.m. being the conclusion, 5 p.m. And I think what you all saw is what we saw. And Sunday when we're on, the crowds got a little bit bigger and there was a lot more buying going on. And so we thought we'd extend it a couple hours on your all suggestion and see if we could help the artist have an even better successful event. Food and drink, we've got commitments from Benedetto's, Michael Meadows, Milk and Honey, Noto Pizza, Nutty Sisters, Shish Kebab Guys, Small Batch Winery, and super smokers. And super smokers will be the one that kind of brings the variety and the quantity to the event. They did a wonderful job for us at Celebrate Wildwood. We got a lot of positive feedback from participants that ate there, as well as from super smokers, just how much they enjoyed it. So I think we're working on one or two others still.
Yeah, we're working on another for some like sweets, but I'm having a little bit of trouble getting anyone to commit. I've tried the pancake person that we had at Celebrate Wildwood. I guess she's in transition, might be moving to Arizona, so I haven't been able to get a confirmation. I tried the chimney, I guess there's someone that makes like chimneys at Farmer's Market. He has a prior commitment. Sarah's Cake
Oh,
Stop.
It's like a vertical,
Right,
almost
right.
funnel cake. It's really crazy looking.
Right.
So then I tried Sarah's Cake Stop, but they do not work Sundays and they have a prior commitment on Saturday. I did reach out to the funnel cake lady via phone and email, but no luck yet. She did the barbecue bash, Kathy recommended. So maybe, I have someone who does crepes. She said she could do Sunday, but not Saturday due to a prior commitment. So still working on a dessert.
So you tried nothing bun cakes?
Have not.
Are we trying to stay local? Because I know they would be probably, what is that, Chesterfield?
Yeah, I guess from what I heard last year,
They left.
they just left,
They
got up and
left.
left. So I guess that would be our maybe last.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They stayed for
Ah.
part of Saturday
Mhm.
and then left early on Saturday and didn't come back on Sunday.
Oh.
And,
Mm.
I mean,
Well, then that's not
that,
good.
you
Right.
can't count on them.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, is it Sarah's Cupcakes, did you say that? Is that the
Yes.
one on Clarkson?
Yeah, they have two, one in Eureka and then, yeah, the one on Clarkson. But, so they couldn't, they said, you know, in the future, think of them for other events,
Mhm.
but, yeah.
If you all have any ideas or think of something over the next couple of days, please email Bree or me.
Don't we have a new ice cream or creamery
Yeah, it's
moving
coming in.
Did they do like a little preview or
It's a good
little
idea.
sample sizes or something?
Are they in
Everybody
yet?
likes ice cream.
Yeah.
Are they in yet?
No.
I don't
No.
know. When do they arrive?
They were hoping for the end of this year or the beginning of next year.
Oh,
They
it's that
just-
far out?
Yeah, they just signed a lease with Dearborn Town Center, the development across the way here, within the last few days. I think it was the end of last week. So there's some interior, they've got to obviously change the interior. They're going into the space right by Sunny Street, so on the south end.
Mhm.
So there's some permitting, there's construction, and then get into the holidays and everything slows down a little around that time. Like, they're hoping for the end of the year.
Does Deerbergs or Schnucks do anything out of their bakeries?
You can ask.
Yeah, I could ask. I could reach out to Main Street and then see what they think, and then just,
Mhm.
if they're no, I could move on to like Schnucks and Deerbergs.
I didn't think Deerbergs did their own bakery stuff. I thought they had some of those too.
Do they? I don't know.
Their most of their stuff is frozen, I think, and then they just,
Yeah, they don't do it.
I just busted my balloon, thanks.
oh. I go to Schnucks for the donuts.
Yeah.
Deerbergs, I- Okay.
Years ago, Schnucks used to do all of our hot dogs for our concert events and things like that. They were a great partner, and they had a change in management at the store and kind of dissipated, I guess. But, well, if you think, well, Dearborn Schnucks, the ice cream place, if you think of anything else that you might, we'll give it a try. Like I say, everybody
Yeah.
likes it, a little sweet.
Mhm.
So at your chairs tonight, I provided you the postcards that we've been handing out at a lot of our events since they were completed. Also, if you came either direction on Taylor Road, I hope you saw the banners that you had authorized to be placed on the light standards. They've been up for about a week or so. And then we have the posters. And we have extras of all of them along with yard signs over on the counter. So if you'd like to take, if you'd like to take any of them with you, maybe if you know a place you'd like to put it up, please feel free. We have plenty here, and if we need more, we can always get more. So those are available for you as well. And just to kind of go over two other things, and then I'll let you all talk and ask questions or give us direction. Travis Newberry, who works in the Department of Planning and Parks, has been coordinating the volunteers again. It appears we'll be getting some folks from Lafayette High School's Key Club, which has worked out really, really well for us, just a great group of kids. So I think we're gonna have probably at least 4 shifts of a minimum of 2 volunteers from the high school on Saturday, and then 2 shifts of a minimum of 2 volunteers on each for Sunday. But if you all would like to have some role, either working at the city tent, handing out booklets, walking through and then talking to the artists, maybe being booth sitters, whatever, just let us know. If there's a span of time that works best for you, we certainly can accommodate that. The event goes from 11 o'clock in the morning to 8 p.m. on Saturday, and 11 o'clock on Sunday to 5 p.m. Don't forget, we have the breakfast here, I think starting at 8 or 8:30. And that's also when the awards are presented to the artists for the event. So, and you're all very welcome. It's Chris's cake, so they throw pancakes at you and biscuits and different things.
What day is that?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday morning.
We're all gonna be here at 6.
And we'll have the hospitality room here. And so again, you're all welcome to participate in that at any time. We've got that staff with Paul Pollers and at least a couple of our staff people. So we think we've got that covered as well. Paul is a volunteer from the community. Paul's a great guy. He's energetic. He likes to talk. And I knew he was perfect for the hospitality room. And a couple of years ago, I came back from the event grounds and he was actually washing the windows out in the atrium. It's like, you do windows, huh? Yeah. It's like, I can't stand it. It was dirty. Great, keep it up. Be the first to do it in probably 4 years. So that's the volunteer side of it. And just the last thing is, during the event, if you have any questions, comments, or if you see something, please don't hesitate to either talk to Gary, Kathy, Bree, or I. If you see something that doesn't look right or could be better, we'll be glad to try. And if there's something that you need, let us know. We're there to make it a good event as possible. Setup, I don't know, Sergeant, has Gary talked to you about that?
Not quite yet,
Okay.
but we're ready to handle whatever, so we'll be here Friday. I mean, I'm assuming that they'll want to stick close to what we did last year, but
Exactly.
so we'll be ready for it.
All right, great. That's the update I have on the Art Festival.
I have a general question.
Sure.
What kind of plans do we have for bad weather?
That's a very good question. Obviously, if it's a storm that would just blow up unexpectedly, we'll use City Hall as the safe place, and we'll also make arrangements probably with the theater, which is the closest large building. If we get a bad weather forecast, I probably will, and you can help me with this. In the past, I've just always pulled the artist. You know, it's like, what would, particularly when we had those heat days, what was, is that, do you want to end the event early? Do you want to take a break, close down, that kind of thing. We do take out weather insurance, so we soften the blow to the taxpayers if an event has to be canceled. And I depend on the police to let me know if it's a serious enough issue that we have to clear the grounds.
How about just disagreeable weather, like rain, 4 inches of mud, that kind of thing?
Well, as you know, all the artists are on pavement, so.
I thought we were going to put some on the grounds over here where we had tables before. I thought it was.
That was on the edge of the pavement.
Oh, it's on pavement. Oh, good.
So
Okay.
they're all on pavement,
Okay.
so I would just probably tell them, close up,
Yeah.
protect your art, and we'll wait it out if we can. If it becomes something where it's like, it's gonna go,
Mhm.
I know the St. Louis Art Fair closed for a portion of the time in September because of weather. And we hope the next day will even be better
Mhm.
in terms of good weather.
Do you know of any other contingency plans for other artists?
Well, there have been shows that I've been part of where it rained and it was out on a field and it was just impassable. So they had to bring in straw and it was the most disagreeable event because then it got hot and the straw was smelly and you just wondered what kinds of things. I know you've got so much experience. I know there will have been some event that got rained out and it was just yucky.
I mean, but generally they don't try to reschedule. I mean,
No,
if it's
no.
a deal is canceled, right?
Yeah, right.
I don't know if you heard this last year, but I heard it from several of the artists that participated. This was their last event of the year.
Mhm.
They were they were kind of putting everything away for a while and going home and being creative, I think, more so than selling. So we would not reschedule. That's why we try to wait it out as best as possible, unless it's just dangerous conditions, then we'll get everybody to a safe place as quick as we can. Good question, thanks.
Comes up.
So, and if it is soggy, it'll affect the dining tent, the vendors that are providing food for the dining tent. And we bring in mulch. We find that's a lot better to work with.
Yeah, that would be better.
Yeah. And it degrades a little slower, but it's just easier to work with. We've had a couple of those events where we did have to spend a lot of time addressing wet field conditions. But most everybody will be high and dry.
Okay.
So, and the schedule is, we've gone over that kind of, we talked about how the 2 days and the times. Is there anything else we need to be
Well,
cognizant
I do feel like I need to bring up another thing that
Okay.
has been kind of on my mind throughout, and that was getting food to the artists who can't leave their booth.
Yeah.
Last year, we talked about the expense of making a meal that was packaged for them and was carted out. And then we talked about the possibility of maybe just having a crew of people in here who dish up stuff and cover it with plastic wrap and take it out. Is that okay?
We're going to work on that. We'll do something this year. I had an experience with Celebrate Wildwood with one of the vendors who was selling dog treats. And, she had to leave her booth once because it was the first time she did it and she didn't ask anybody. She just so happened, I was walking by with Gary and she's like, is there somebody who can do this? I said, yeah, so we gave her. They'll all have our phone number. So when it comes up, if they don't mind us making a plate, we'll be glad to take it on down.
Oh, okay, okay.
Now, if they feel a little squeamish about that, we'll have booth sitters.
Uh-huh.
In fact, not to pat myself on the back, but I sold 5 bags of dog treats. She came back and she said, what'd you do with my dog? I sold them. Gary's got the money like this. He's laughing.
How'd they taste?
I left that to Gary.
Yeah.
I bought some, I got some.
I did too, yeah, I bought some.
I was a booth sitter for several people
Yeah,
last
me
year.
too. I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Met
And
somebody.
then
I
took
still
15, 20
remember.
minutes, ran to the restroom, got some food, and it was fine.
Yeah, it is unless somebody comes by who wants to buy something and then you're scrambling because
Right, you don't know
you
what
want to
to-
help that person make the sale and,
Yeah, I
so.
didn't have to deal with that one.
Yeah,
But we'll give it the packet of information the artists get when they're doing the setup. We'll let them know that if there is a situation where they wouldn't mind us bringing the food down to them. We can make arrangements for that. That's pretty straightforward. We'll
that's
get some-
terrific.
We'll get some of those styrofoam things or something, maybe a little ecologically more friendly, and we can just put it all in there.
That's
Walk
great.
it on down. That'd be a great job for the volunteers, the kids. They wouldn't mind doing
Anything else, Cory? I
No,
wanted
ma'am.
to ask, I went to a art fair, this was in California, in Inglewood, and they had, and this is not for this year, obviously, but they had little tents, or a tent set up where kids could, they had art, they could do little art projects.
That's
Have we
very
ever-
popular.
Is that popular?
Oh, yeah, it's very popular in
Uh-huh.
other kids' tent,
Tent, yeah.
where they have a volunteer in there
Mhm.
teaching the kids how to do something.
Some
Yeah.
procedure.
Oh, yeah.
Is that something we ever thought of, or we're just waiting to grow
I think that
ourselves?
I think you're right on the right track there.
Okay.
I think that it was just like, let's get the
Okay.
show part
Mhm.
going good,
Mhm.
and then add on.
Add on
They,
to it.
the Webster Groves show, they do that, lots of them do that. It's
Mhm.
real popular. Lohmeyer, they do it.
Mhm. I think
We
it's a
talked to
good
Jean
idea.
Vogel about it.
Have you?
Yeah,
Oh.
just to get her impression, and she
Uh-huh.
said it's very popular. It's just logistics wise, having somebody in there or people in there to do
Yeah.
the art with the children.
Right.
We've always kind of been trying to build it,
Right.
so maybe, like you say, next year we can look into
Yeah,
that.
well, not this year, I know that's not possible.
It's a great idea.
Something to
Be
keep on the
something
back
fun for
burner.
the community.
Mm-hmm, I think so. So are there any other concerns that we need to look at under the art festival?
We had talked about, and there's two things that aren't prepared for tonight, so I'll start with an apology. First, the budget. We're trending high, but we haven't received all the bills. We're still getting a couple from like Green to Go, the provider of electrical services. We just got that at the beginning of the week. So I'll have something for you next week that I'll just email to you so you can see.
Are we trending high because of just increased cost, or is it because we have more artists? Why are you saying trending higher from last year?
Mhm. Not much. I think
Not
it's
much.
only going to be maybe, right now, a few $1,000s over what our
Oh,
budget was.
okay.
I don't particularly know why. Most of the costs stayed similar to 2018. There was an increase in electrical services, but not all of that amount that I just quoted. I don't know, it's the little things that all add up. We did the history book, which is part of it. We did the points of
Oh.
interest map.
Oh, so
those
that came
things.
out of our budget?
Yes.
The Wildwood, the history?
Yeah, it's
Not out
all
of
part
the-
of Celebrate
Oh,
Wildwood,
okay, I
so.
thought that was under the historic thing.
Some of it is, but not
Okay.
all of it.
Well, it's a wonderful book. I mean, it's a beautiful,
It is.
beautifully
It's
done.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, the 5th chapter and the final chapter will be this coming year, 2020.
Wow.
And we'll have it complete,
Mhm.
so that's pretty exciting.
Mhm.
Most of the cost of that, like the
Comes
author
out.
of the last 3 chapters, that comes out of Historic Preservation Commission's
Okay.
budget, things like that.
Mhm.
And then we were gonna get you a calendar of dates of other events, so we could maybe talk about
Mm.
maybe moving it from the end of August to sometime in September. And it is being prepared. And just to give you we're having some budget discussions about all of our events. So, and the reason we don't have Celebrate Wildwood, so to speak, at the end of September is because of the barbecue bash.
Right.
And we're talking about just our commitment to the barbecue bash as part of the 2020 budget. So I'll have that for you in November as well.
And I thought we had decided that it needed to stay around the inception of the city, or is that, oh, was it in the bylaws, or was it some charter thing? Was it, did it have to, can it be moved, I guess I'm asking, can it be definitely moved?
I think so, because
It
the
can.
original version of Celebrate Wildwood was called Wildwood Days, and it was held in mid-late September.
Oh. And it changed because?
Well, it went away for a while when Mayor John Wild was in office.
Mhm.
He didn't support the event, so there was a 4-year stretch when there wasn't one. It was reinstituted in 2005 for the 10-year anniversary. We did it for a couple more years, and then we had a hurricane come up from Galveston,
Okay.
washed out the event, and we lost $35,000.
Wow.
And so then it kind of went away for a bit.
And my mom lost her house.
Oh,
And her
sorry.
husband. Yeah, it was a biggie.
That was worse than us.
Yeah, it was a bad year.
Yeah. And so we went away for a year, then came back for the 15th anniversary.
Mhm.
And then we've kind of been doing it since then. So I don't, when it was reinstituted, it was done at 2010 on the 15th anniversary, and it was kind of like, well, we should stick as close as possible to September 1st, the
Mhm.
incorporation date. We actually, when we started it back up, we held it on Labor Day weekend, and the crowds were small, because
Mhm.
everybody was out of town.
Right.
At least that was the prevailing, and I believe it to be, but, so I think it
So
can be
it has
moved.
some leeway.
But as you know, we talked last year, we've got like Labor Day, and then I think almost immediately after the St. Louis Art Fair,
Mhm.
and then
Well,
we
the
had some.
barbecue bash.
Yeah, then the barbecue bash, and the thought was, you know, it's a lot for the police and staff to accommodate if we got them
Right,
all
right,
too
right.
close together.
And then we had Lafayette and the marching
Yeah,
band.
that
Oh,
was
and
the big
school.
one,
Yeah, school was back.
because their position is, we can only do it at that time, because the rest of it is fall, we're
Right.
committed to other events, so.
And next year they'll be starting after Labor Day, right?
We're pretty close to it.
Well, the
So-
other thing that we had just mentioned, I guess in our cart, we were wondering, we thought it would be nice if some of the staff that doesn't live here, because you guys are here from morning to night, have you ever looked at, like, could we budget something for the hotel there, that you guys wouldn't have to come home, go home? Just saying, we kind of discussed that in our cart that day.
I
You
was
don't remember?
there.
Oh, well,
No,
Susan,
I must
Susan
have not. I
discussed
must have not been
it.
part of
Okay,
it.
we just thought,
We're
we knew
doing
that
fine,
you all
thank
were
you.
there early morning till late night, trying to get everything ready, and, we
You
just.
come to my house.
Fair enough. No, we're fine, but thank you.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
as I say, the budget is trending a little high.
Okay.
Hopefully, the final numbers isn't much more than what I just described.
Okay.
And I'll email that to you well in advance at the November meeting, because we'll also have the budget for the upcoming 2020 fiscal year for you to review as well.
Mhm.
So you'll have both components.
So are you seeing that it's even between the Celebrate Wildwood and the art? Is it just divided? Is the budget, or is there separate line items?
They were to be combined, but for 2019, it's still two separate numbers. So
Okay.
Celebrate Wildwood was roughly about 70 some odd $1,000, and
Mhm.
the art festival is just under 50.
Okay.
So
How did we come in on the Celebrate Wildwood
we're
budget?
trending a little high.
On that one too?
Yeah.
So both of them are trending up.
So, how much do the artists pay for this show?
We raised it this year from 125 to, I think, 150. And then the $25 application fee, which is non-refundable.
Right.
Um,
So, I want to make sure that that is included in the budget to show that
Understand.
we're actually pulling in a little bit.
Mhm.
I think that we might be able to raise the price some more, because that is a very low cost of show, especially if we have a good show.
What is kind of the standard of other places?
Oh, I'd pay as much as 300. They'll make you pay more if you get electricity.
Okay.
300 is, I wouldn't want to go that high, but I think 150 is a little bit low.
I'll leave that all up to you if you don't object. When you think we've got that core established and we can start,
We need to think about it next year. We need to think about what would be reasonable and competitive. We don't want to just give ourselves away.
Gene Vogel told Gary Cruz that in Webster, they charge extra for a Carmen.
Oh, yes, absolutely, because they have two ways of being seen.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I never thought of that as I am.
Mhm.
last year, the corner was the windiest part.
Yeah, right,
That was-
yeah.
So, I felt sorry for that guy.
Yeah.
So, budget will be emailed to you sometime next week, so
Okay.
look for that email when you see it from either Kathy Bree or I. And then we'll have the calendar kind of just to talk about time frame.
Okay.
But like I say, and we have the time because I don't present the schedule of events for final action to the committee of council that oversees the department until about mid-November. So, and then it isn't finalized and taken, they don't take it, the council doesn't take action on it until December.
So we don't want to look at dates because we don't have a quorum anyway, and we're
Yep.
not really ready for that yet, so we'll defer that to November.
Yep.
Other
I
business
apologize.
for consideration?
And our next meeting is Wednesday, November 6th.
Mhm. Is there nothing else? Anything else pressing? We'll get our signs, we know where to get our signs, so.
Please help yourself. And if you have a, if there's a period of time that you'd like to volunteer on Saturday or Sunday, just email any of us and we'll get you
Okay.
scheduled.
All right.
And we didn't get shirts this year because we were going to use the ones we got last year, but,
It's the same one, the Wildwood, yeah.
so,
There's a cost savings.
Yeah.
Cost savings.
good job. But we do have some extra sweatshirts, so if it is a chilly morning, before it gets sunny and pleasant, we'll have something here.
And perfect.
You guys have been doing really well so far.
Yes, thank you all for what you do because, massive undertaking.
I think we're adjourned, right?
Thank you all for coming, we do appreciate it. Thank you, officers.
Thank
You're welcome.
Thank you and welcome again.
Oh, my
Both of
goodness.
you.
We're almost
you.
there.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness.
It's coming around, it came fast, didn't it? It was a celebration. It really did.
Yeah.